Hello everyone, Angela here with Turo Family Chiropractic and your weekly PSA or Piece of Salutogenic Advice. So this week talking about something that I hear about a lot, and probably familiar with this, but the idea that you can't outrun a bad diet. And what we mean by that is this idea that, exercise is an extremely important part of an overall healthy lifestyle. Exercise, the more active you are, certainly the more your body's going to burn and utilize energy on a regular basis. Overall, it's going to help promote a healthy lifestyle. But this idea of thinking of exercise in the sense of calories burned, and that's equivalent to the amount of calories that you can eat. Sometimes people get into trouble with this, and we hear it a lot or see it a lot where you talk about, do you know how many miles you would have to run to burn off, insert whatever food item here. We hear it a lot around, the holidays or gatherings, like, okay, well, think about how much you would have to work out or to run to burn all of that off. And yes, exercise does certainly burn more calories above and beyond just the kind of day-to-day activities that we're doing. But when we start to think about exercise that way, or even think about food that way, it kind of creates a false equivalency, and it creates a sort of dangerous mindset to get into. So one, we want to just think about exercise for all of the wonderful benefits that it has. You want to incorporate exercise into your life as just to help with overall health and wellness, cardiorespiratory health, muscular strength. It's great for emotional and mental well-being. So there's a lot of amazing benefits to exercise. What you want to watch out for is doing that sort of calorie calculating and trying to use exercise as a way to compensate for an unhealthy diet. One, because generally speaking, we tend to overestimate how much we exercise or how much we burn during exercise, and we tend to underestimate how much we consume or how many calories we're truly taking in throughout the day. So if you are somebody that closely tracks your calories or closely tracks your activity, using different activity trackers and things like that, just keep in mind that we do sometimes have that discrepancy between what we think we've done and what we actually have done and consumed that day. So that's part of the issue. So if you say you went for a run and you see that you burned 300 calories, in your mind, if you're thinking, that's 300 extra calories now that I get to eat, what you might end up doing is actually overeating because you think that you may have either you burned less than that, or you may end up eating more than those 300 calories. So, anyone who's, heard me talk knows I'm not big on the calorie counting in general because of exactly that, unless you are, measuring everything out and have sort of the background and ability to calculate calories correctly. Is a dangerous game to play, trying to balance that exactly. The other issue with thinking that exercise means that we can reward ourselves with unhealthy food, or vice versa, thinking we can eat whatever we want and then we're just going to go burn it off in the gym, is the idea that we've been talking about all month long, which is that the quality of your diet is so important. So if you are eating a lot of junk, for lack of better words, so the kind of stuff that we've been talking about all month, so if you're eating a lot of processed foods, you're eating a lot of added sugars, you're eating a lot of fast food, you're eating a lot of things, refined carbohydrates, if you're eating a lot of that stuff, if that's what your diet primarily is, I don't care how much you're working out, you're still going to have a lot of the issues that we've been talking about. So you're still going to have, potential issues with insulin resistance. You're going to have potential issues with inflammation and metabolic issues. So you really have to make sure that you're looking at that quality of the diet, because exercise, yes, is certainly going to help. It's certainly going to put you in a better position to be at a state of good health, but it's not going to necessarily undo or make up for a really poor diet. And lastly, the thing to keep in mind when you're talking about, exercise and diet and the connection is a good quality diet is going to give you the energy to put into your workouts and put into your exercise. So if you are eating a poor quality diet, you're probably not going to have as much energy. You're not going to feel, not going to feel as good before, during, or after your workouts. You're not going to recover as well. You might not have, again, that energy, that fuel to really feel like you're doing your best during your exercise. So you want to think about it that way too. Food really is the fuel for us. It's a fuel for our bodies. So you want to make sure you're using good quality fuel so that you can really get an effective workout as well. So they really do go hand in hand. A lot of times it's becoming, very common. We hear it a lot. People really do think about exercise as something that they have to do, or it's something to make up for a poor diet, or it's something that, or I exercise today, so now I can go reward myself with, a donut or ice cream or whatever, whatever your guilty pleasure is. But you really want to think about them as two important components. A healthy diet and being active are both important components to an overall healthy lifestyle to get you to that point of optimal health. And, both are essential. So it's not to say that, if you're trying to change everything right now, certainly, pick whichever one might be easier. Some people are more motivated. It's easier to kind of get themselves into an exercise regimen and then focus on the diet. Some people are the other way. It's easier for them to kind of focus on cleaning up the diet and then get into the exercise once they feel like they have the eating under control. Whichever way works is great. Whichever way works for you is perfect. But make sure that you are addressing both, because, you can be the most active person out there, but if you're eating junk, it's still going to catch up to you in the end. You can have a really healthy diet, but if you're not active and you're not moving around, again, it's going to catch up to you in one way or another. So you really want to look at that balance. You really want to look at that combination. They go hand in hand, and you will absolutely get the best results when you have both and have a good habits for both of those. So that is your weekly PSA. You cannot outrun a bad diet. As always, any questions, comments, send them my way. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you the same time next week. Have a wonderful day.